I'm Zein Obagi, and I'm proud to be running for Congress for California's 33rd District. I grew up here. In fact, 2 of my sisters combined for 3 degrees from UCLA, and I'm a product of UC Berkeley. I'm committed to restoring California to greatness. Greatness in education, leadership, business, and technology. It's inconceivable to me that a region of such great resource like California fails to lead the nation as a model for prosperity. Our current representative is content to engage in crony capitalism, growing the federal government and ignoring the needs of Californians. We need jobs, a plan for growth, and an end to regulatory uncertainty that chokes business development. We need immediate protection against cyber attacks because they're one of the greatest threats we faced in years. And we hold the solutions for all of this right here in our district. It's time to tell the old guard that California deserves more. I bring a fresh voice and a commitment to serving the immediate needs of Californians. It's time to act on the awareness that wasteful spending and bureaucratic ties that circumvent the needs of citizens can no longer be tolerated. I'm Zein Obagi, and I'm running for Congress. I ask for your support on June 5th to restore America's greatness. I'm the only candidate who's been down there. I'm the only candidate endorsed by the NoPowerPlant.com movement, Leslie Campeggy, Don Esser, and Jim Light. I've been to 2 city council members and spoke to the city council on this issue. Yes, it does not touch immediately on federal issues, but it is important to the residents there. It's important to the economy there because a new power plant and the old power plant, the existing power plant there, depreciates all the real estate in the area. There was a time where building the power plant there was appropriate, back when technology only allowed for once-through cooling for a gas power plant using ocean water. That's no longer going to be allowed by the California Energy Commission as of 2020. That's why AES has proposed a new power plant. And so the question for the residents is, do they seize their opportunity and get rid of any power plant there? Or do they allow AES to come through with a new one? And like we've heard the statistics, the old power plant operates at 5% capacity. It is not necessary to the grid. It can be relocated. I'm in favor of all domestic energy resources when they're developed responsibly, and putting one on the coastline where it blights views from not just Redondo Beach, but from around the community, and where it pollutes directly into the Los Angeles basin makes absolutely no sense. So the power plant's gotta go. I say that unequivocally. I'm having coffee at a NoPowerPlant.com supporters house tomorrow morning, and then again on Tuesday, because I'm involved with this issue and the residents support me on this issue. This project is going to cost, bullet train is going to cost $100 billion. And its initial phase, its initial planning, will get you from San Francisco to Merced. So do you want to drive up to Merced, get on it, and pay double the fare of what it would take to get on an airplane? Nobody's going to do that. And for $100 billion, we've taken $1 billion from the Fed. We've put aside $9 billion for this project. So we're not even 1/10 there. It would require us to spend more money every single day by law than any construction project in the history of the world. And we won't write it. So it's a waste. It's absolutely inappropriate. We should give the Fed their $1 billion back. We'd have penalties if we didn't make the schedule on time. Give them back their money, take that savings and put it towards education or put it towards viable transportation in the district that works, that actually, a metro that actually gets you to the airport, not stops, however many miles shy of it, so you need to get on a taxi or a bus to get to the airport. Kill the bullet train. It's a bullet to the head for California. I empathize entirely with the residents of the area because I live in the area. And it's a death trap to end up on Santa Monica any time of day, really, during business hours. By the time the 405, the extra lane is built in 10 years, it'll already become worthless because we would have already had more traffic to fill that lane, and we'll need another lane. So that was not the appropriate solution. And we really should have been looking at a rail project or extending the red line that's supposed to come all the way to the West LA VA out over to the valley and connect it to the bus system that runs along the valley to the red line out in North Hollywood. So that's a solution. As for dragging our feet on it, we can blame Henry Waxman for that. In 1985, because of residents concerned about riffraff that lobbied him, he got the federal government to ban federal funding to the LA subway. And so, and then 2004, about 14 years later, or 19 years later, he changed his mind. And now all of a sudden wants to be this environmentalist. Well, we have pollution, we have heavy traffic, in large part to blame on Henry Waxman. Thank you, Mr. Waxman. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's not an issue that the United States supports Israel and they're one of our strongest allies. I view our relationship to Israel much like the Constitution to minorities here. The Constitution of the United States protects the rights of minorities and makes sure that they have civil liberties and don't get oppressed. Israel is a minority in its region. It's surrounded by Middle Eastern states, many of which do not support its right to exist, that don't even have the word Israel in their language. And I will be no less of a supporter. Actually, I want tougher sanctions on Iran than Henry Waxman's advocated for. I grew up in this area. I've been to more temples and synagogues than I have any other religious institution. And I will support Israel and make sure that they are protected and that no country, by us standing by Israel, we deter any country from threatening Israel or thinking for a second that they can attack Israel. I will beat Henry Waxman in November. Steve has the right idea that our national debt is a problem. Our national debt is a problem because our debt service right now is $220 billion a year. It's set at current spending rates to increase to $600 billion a year just within the next 10 years. That's a loss of $400 billion every single year of money that we can send to things like education, transportation, domestic energy independence. I've been spreading this message in our district, and it has appeal with everybody, Republicans and Democrats. And Democrats do want somebody who's watching out for our financial future and our financial security. Henry Waxman does not know the needs of our small businesses. We have a tech hub here, Silicon Beach. All these small tech companies that are trying to grow and develop and create jobs. The number one thing they complain about is lack of access to capital. And the Jobs Act provided that capital or access to capital. And Henry Waxman was one of 28 representatives to vote against the Jobs Act in Congress. How's that going to play after June 5th? None of them will support him. So on the other issue, supposedly he's strong on the environment. Absolutely not. He won't give an opinion on the Redondo Beach power plant. Nobody in Redondo Beach is going to vote for Henry Waxman. And nobody in Palos Verdes who looks at that ugly power plant is going to vote for Henry Waxman. And they're much more conservative and concerned about our growing national debt.